The thing that impressed me the most from this weekend, though, was Texas' ability to bounce back. I think after the West Virginia win, in my mind, they're a lock for the tournament. They're not even having to play in Dayton to go for the play-in game. Recruiting has turned into such a murky thing. When a coach makes you an offer, you should be able to commit whenever you want, and I like that that's Herman's policy with it. Tom Brady has as many Super Bowl wins as the three of them have combined playoff starts. KD can still help put this team on his back.
No doubt.
But he's starting to feel the heat that comes with that level of stratosphere in the NBA. Hopefully I'm wrong, and Austin totally latches on and goes crazy for it like they do in Seattle, like they're doing in Atlanta. I just don't see it happening. My big takeaway, holy crap, the Astros won a World Series.
Well, what are you going to do when I ask you your favorite sports moment now?
Holy crap, the Astros. Well, I've got another
all the way.
Concerned about the Astros 4 in a row?
No.
All right. Okay. Good talk.
I welcome him. I woke up at 11 o'clock like normal, so I was good to go.
All righty then.
Is it thousands? Hundreds?
It's probably 1,000, right?
I'll go with that.
We're going to Google Maps it after this. We'll see.
We're well prepared, as you can tell. It's fun.
Nah.
Come on.
It's fight or flight.
It's fun.
All right. I'm the fun sucker.
It was cool when we got there. He was super
excited.
pumped.
Yeah.
His wife, we walk in the door and she's going like this, and and then he walks us out and he goes, "I just want to stand out in this front yard and just go, yeah!" So that was probably my favorite part about the Super Bowl, was seeing how he reacted, seeing how his family reacted to the success for Foles. Anytime a college football player dies as a result of college football activities, it's devastating and something seriously needs to be looked at. The fact that, a month and a half later, DJ Durkin is finally placed on administrative leave, that makes no sense. And it's also just heartbreaking when you look at the world of college football, and the two biggest stories are a player dying and a coach allegedly beating his wife. It makes you just want to stop and sit back and think, like, how much power do these guys have? How much are we vested in just wins and losses? We need to take a step back and realize there are human lives that are being affected over a game, which is all this is. The only concern with them is they don't really have anybody who's done it. But I mean, they're playing. It's almost like they've out-warriored the Warriors with their style of play, and they're just. It's a fun team to watch. My biggest question with them is the fact that they've never been able to get over that hump and get there. They beat the Warriors in the regular season. They locked up, for the first time in franchise history, the best record in the NBA, which is something I didn't know they'd never done. But you have to go with them, the way they're playing and the health of the league. With Mayfield, he's got an absolute cannon for an arm. I couldn't agree with you more on that. The thing with him, he's a guy that I just don't want to bet against.
No doubt.
And his story has been told ad nauseum, but two-time walk-on, steals a job from Trevor Knight at Oklahoma after he won the Sugar Bowl over Alabama. He's just a guy that I do not want to bet against. So I don't know how he's going to. One thing that I think really helps him is his age. He's 23 years old, so he's a lot older than some of these other quarterbacks that are coming out. He's got more life experience. He's just seems like being older will help him handle everything better. Another quarterback that I think might do better that kind of flew under the radar than maybe some of those first round guys, Mason Rudolph. Just a similar role as Mayfield in the fact that he's an older, more veteran guy. I really like him, and that was the biggest thing that was missing last year for Texas, was a true point guard. I like the ball in his hands. I like what he can do. He's a great distributor. And you see him gaining more confidence as the season goes on. He tied his career high with 22 points on Saturday. He's just a good basketball player, and he's perfect for Shaka Smart's type of system because he's not a one and done guy. I don't think he's going to be 2 and done or 3. He's a guy that's going to hang around for a little while, and that's what Shaka needs to help fully learn the mindset that it takes to play in Shaka Smart's game. Usually a major league sports franchise's draft is a huge deal. Baseball, it just kind of gets buried and forgotten because college baseball, you have the postseason going on, and then you've got Stanley Cup finals and NBA finals. Nobody's concerned with a bunch of names that they don't know being drafted by their favorite team. I found a way to fix it.
That's what we do here.
Either do it 4th of July weekend when baseball's the only thing going on, or do it during the All-Star break. I mean, sports departments are desperate for content. during the All-Star break, because there's the day after the MLB All-Star game is the slowest day in sports because there are no major pro sports being played on that day. Have the draft have the first, second round of the MLB draft on that day. Everybody's got some content. Baseball is still in the news. You can talk about something relevant instead of a game that now truly doesn't mean anything because winner of the All-Star game doesn't determine home field for the World Series. Do it during the All-Star break or do it during the 4th of July. But by then, once you hit July, you don't have to worry about college baseball being in the postseason anymore. Players can focus on trying to make it to Omaha. You don't have to worry about high schoolers if they're still in the state baseball playoffs like we're dealing with here in Texas. And you have the stage to yourself. You don't have to contend with LeBron James and Steph Curry going at it in the finals or the Knights and the Caps in the Stanley Cup finals. You're welcome. Auburn beat both Georgia and so UCF beat a team that beat the national champion, and the whole transitive property and all that stuff. What is the whole point of sports? I ask you, it's to win.
You play to win the game.
Exactly. And when you beat and you win every single game on your schedule, you should have a chance to compete for the ultimate goal in sports, which is to win the championship. And I back in the day when Boise was making their run, I always felt like they should have gotten into the BCS title game. It's foolish. Like, just let's be open and honest with it. Like, they're already group of 5 and power. Like, the separation's already there. Just make it full on and let UCF have a chance to play for an actual national championship because they should. They beat every team on their schedule, and that's all you're ever asked to do when you play a sport is to win. And they should have a chance to win a championship when they've won every single game they played. I was thinking the putting was the thing that was really bothering him in Houston. On Saturday, lost some holes with some 3 putts. But the way he ended Houston with that massive putt to save par on 18 at the Houston Open, I mean, it seems fitting that maybe his best putt of the week of maybe the season, not the season, he had a super long one, but it seems like that's a great way to end a tournament when you've been struggling with your putter heading into the biggest tournament of the year. My wait what, early last week, the Tampa Bay Lightning put out an email saying, if you're going to be in our suites during any home games against the Boston Bruins during their playoff series, you're not allowed to wear any Bruins gear. They were going to be checking bags. They were going to be they didn't want anybody sneaking in wearing any non-Tampa Bay Lightning gear. I thought it was the dumbest thing, just absolutely idiotic. You pay your money, you should be able to do what you want, but maybe they know something I don't because they won the series.
They won the series. That's
4-1.
right.
The series was done on game 1. So I don't know why we're even talking about it. People are so reactionary, and everybody has. We're in the hot take culture where everybody has to say the most outlandish thing. I saw people, granted, understandable. Rockets were down 12-0, but saying the Rockets are pathetic. Mike D'Antoni is trash. Come on, like people are so reactionary and hyperbolic. It's like you can't. It's so annoying. My wait, what? The USGA apologizing for how just idiotic and clown show of a setup that Shinnecock Hills was for the U.S. Open. You had after Saturday, and Saturday was the day for which they apologized for how bad it was. 4 guys tied for the lead at 3 over, and I get it's golf's toughest test, and they want tough scoring. They want to make it look like all of us out there playing, but I mean that's not fun. That's not cool. But wait, what? They actually apologized?
Right.
Like someone in professional sports actually said, "Hey, I screwed up." You know what this really reminds me of, and I was thinking about this listening to the sound yesterday. It's a lot like Charlie Strong going into year 2 before that Notre Dame game, where it was all this positive talk. Things are looking great. He really likes the way everything's going. Quarterbacks. He was super, super positive. And that year, I even asked him, I said, Charlie, you're being really, really optimistic. Is there something to this? And he said he's trying to get the team's mindset to be more positive instead of it's so easy to get beat down. You go to Notre Dame, they have a 5-7 season, blah, blah, blah. But it's very reminiscent to me of Charlie Strong in year 2 trying to just change the team's mindset and get them to be a little more positive after so much negativity that they've been through.